In the Black Out Loud, 4 expert tips to combat complaining at work. Venting with colleagues may feel good in the moment, but it can also have a negative effect on workplace culture. 2 experts offer constructive alternatives to complaining in the workplace. By Nicola Heath. This article has been edited for audio purposes. Article begins. The average person complains 15 to 30 times a day and is barely aware they are doing it, says Will Bowen, founder of the Complaint-Free Movement and author of A Complaint-Free World, How to Stop Complaining and Start Enjoying the Life You Always Wanted. Complaining is like bad breath, Bowen says. You notice it when it comes out of somebody else's mouth, but not when it comes out of your own. While it is often dismissed as blowing off steam, Bowen argues that complaining can have a negative impact on individuals and organisations alike. Whether it is about a task, a colleague, or a manager, chronic complaining in the workplace can create a toxic culture for employees. Organisations with a high degree of complaining have a lot more absenteeism, turnover, internal friction, and internal factions, where people build up alliances against one another, leading to leadership struggles, as well as lower profitability, he says. Customers can sense this negativity and, as a result, they will go someplace more positive. Here are 4 expert tips on workplace strategies to deal with complaining at work. Number 1. Identify constructive complaints. Complaining can present and be described by experts in different ways, but there is a tendency to differentiate between a call to action and a complaint for its own sake, with the former considered a more constructive act. Bowen, for instance, distinguishes between whinging and what he calls a request for accountability. If I have an issue with a product I purchase from a business and I contact their customer service, that is not a complaint. That is a request for accountability, he argues. If I then whinge or gripe to my friends and family about the shoddy material or workmanship, that is complaining. Psychologist Dr. Lee Collins, a senior consultant at psychology consultancy Transitioning Well, makes a similar distinction, but she prefers the terms outcome-oriented complaining and whinging, which she says are 2 very different psychological constructs. Complaints are generally action-focused, with the view that something can be done to fix a certain situation, or at least improve on it, Collins says. When complaining turns to whinging, the narrative can become hopeless, repetitive, and circular, without a view to act or improve the situation. If complaints turn into a litany of everything is wrong and nothing will work, morale can be impacted and workplace relationships can suffer. Number 2, be proactive and solution-focused. In the workplace, nothing has ever changed for the better unless someone has noticed a problem, reported a problem, highlighted a solution, and enacted a change, Collins says. However, rather than venting to a colleague, Bowen recommends taking a proactive approach to address perceived problems in the workplace. Speak directly and only to the person who can resolve your issue, he says. In these discussions, use neutral and solution-focused language. Talk about what you want rather than what you do not want, and offer whatever you can to improve the situation. Follow up on the issue to check what progress has been made. Offer to connect with the person again to provide feedback as to how whatever improvements that were implemented are working, Bowen says. Number 3, question yourself and document your findings. Collins recommends approaching feelings of dissatisfaction with curiosity and documenting your findings. 2 questions to ask could be, why am I so bothered by this? And what is the evidence for my dissatisfaction? Write the answers down on paper, she says. This strategy can help reduce the emotional component of the issue, detangle the complexity between thoughts, emotions, and facts, and allow the individual to consider if there are other variables impacting their dissatisfaction. Number 4, cut it out. In A Complaint-Free World, Bowen challenges readers to go 21 days without complaining, an outcome that he says generally takes 6 months to achieve. While it is not an easy undertaking, cutting out complaining benefits individuals in numerous ways. One effect is physiological. Studies have found that you'll have less of the stress hormone cortisol in your body, which means you will feel less stressed. Your blood pressure will go down and your heart rate will slow, he says. Other advantages relate to communication and the quality of professional relationships, which can translate into increased opportunities. You attract people around you who are more positive and upbeat, and the conversations you are involved in are more optimistic and sanguine, Bowen says. Organisations similarly benefit from a more positive discourse in the workplace, he adds. You create a greater sense of harmony, and that makes everything easier, from communication to collaboration to improvements to customer service. In the Black, Out Loud.